Welcome to Divided Kids Learning Session. Today we are going to discuss a very useful area which is related to implementation of curriculum at the preschools. And this is a very unique, easy as well as effective curriculum which any of the preschools, even they are very new, they can implement it without any difficulty. This is called ACT, ACT, and ACT stands for Activity Based Curriculum for Tacit Knowledge. We have this particular curriculum we have created so that when anybody wants to start a preschool or they want to develop skills among preschool children, so they should do it very effectively and without much difficulty. So let's understand what is ACT. What is this ACT? Basically, it's very easy and effective curriculum for preschool. And if you look to the first component of ACT, it is activity. As we know that when we talk about preschools, when we talk about early child skill development, then one thing that comes to our mind is the activities. When the children are getting into the preschools, parents, teachers, and all the stakeholders, they think of one thing about activities. Now, there must be ample number of activities as a part of the teaching plan. This is the very important point under ACT. It should not happen that when we are just, trying to engage a child with lot of things that child loves to do, there should not be any deficiency of those activities which should keep that child engaged. So activities are the first component of art. Then once we come to the second component is curriculum. And this is very important. And it is the point which will make the preschools work as a proficiency and professional organization to develop that skill component among children. And when we bring those activities to engage children, those activities must be a part of a structured and standard curriculum. If those activities are not part of standard curriculum, then the skill building process becomes haywire. If standardization is not there, we do not build a structured and well designed skill among the children. So curriculum attachment into the skill building process is very crucial, important, and should not be ignored by anyone who is connected to the skill building activities of the children. So C, curriculum is the second component of ACT. And when we talk about the third component is T, and T stands for tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is not related to only remembering something or knowledge per se, knowing something. Tacit knowledge is a bigger concept which takes into account the actual skill, the skill for doing practical problem solving things. That is what we call as tacit knowledge. When we build those skills through curriculum, through lot of activities, these areas of engagement with the children must lead to building of tacit knowledge. So when we talk about ACT curriculum, then it should consist of activities. Those activities must be part of a structured curriculum. And when we provide those activities, then it should lead to generation of tacit knowledge among children. So it is very easy. ACT is very easy to remember, and therefore it becomes very easy to implement. Now we'll go little bit further, little bit get into one step further to understand how we can implement this ACT curriculum in the school. As we know that children, they love to spend time with innovative activity sheets. Now, most of the schools, when you go, we find a lot of schools are trying to generate activity seats which they can provide to the children, and children can spend time on that. And end of the exercise, the children should have those skills. Now, as a part of this curriculum, since we are completely depending upon activity sheets, there must be, as a thumb rule, at least 10 unique worksheets for the practice every day basis. That is very important. Now, if we have to give those activity sheets for the child, if the child is in nursery, LKG or UKG, doesn't matter, the child must be, as a thumb rule, should have 10 activity sheets. 10 activity sheets are unique sheets, and post that, child should have lot of practice of those activity sheets which should be backed up by teachers or backed up by parents. So what I mean to say is that backing up means 10 unique activity sheets that can be photocopied, so that when the child keeps doing that activities, then to practice those photocopying activity sheets may be used. Or alternative, now there are a lot of magic sheets are coming, which the child can use multiple times. So that way it will help for the parents to get them and get the child use them. Alternatively, now once the parents they have one set of the printed copies of these activity sets, and when the child does that, after that for practicing purpose, lot of apps, preschool learning apps are there, which provides such activity sheets which can be done the practicing work much easier. So that way, cost effectiveness can also be brought into uh, practice. So that's what the teachers and parents may think of. Now, if we just think of about activities, when we talk about 10 unique activities every day, then there are specific activities, skill-based activities are important. We'll discuss them in a proper way going further. But we know activity sheets are related to different skills. So when we talk about activity sheets, we should have sufficient activity sheets taking care of different skills. And the top five skills which we concentrate in preschools, they are language communication skill, cognitive skill, social emotional skill, environmental skill, and movement and physical skill. Now, if we look to the language and communication skill, the activities under this act should have enough activity sets to take care of language skill. So when I talk about 10 skills, 10 unique activity sets every day, that should also include lot of activity sets related to language and communication skill. So we can build a lot of activity sets that we'll just discuss how to structure it later, but we should have such activity sets with us. Now, again, if we look to the cognitive skills, and as a part of the skill building process, cognitive skill is also quite important, and we should have thought provoking, thought provoking activity sets that should take care of the requirement of cognitive skill development of the child. Now, we should have a lot of activity sheets and structuring and making that useful. We can discuss further. Similarly, we should have social and emotional skill activities. And when we try to use this act, we should have sufficient number of activity sets to take care of both social as well as emotional skills. Then such activity sets should be the part of the whole teaching process. Now, similarly, we should have environmental skills, and environmental sets should be designed physical environment, animal world, different kind of things what the child is trying to understand and develop the skill. Those activity sets must be designed by taking all these environmental skills into account. Then we should have the development in the areas of movement and physical skill, what we call as motor skills, and we should have sufficient number of activity sets. We should take care of the physical skill development of the child. Now that's where we should have lot of activity sets. And once activities are taken care of, as the second component, we must have a structured curriculum connected to all the activity sets we are just trying to do or trying to get the child engaged with. Now, what will happen if we simply give lots of activity sets? Yes, the child will be enjoying, but when it comes to the skill improvement or building up those essential skills in that particular age, without curriculum, neither the teacher will be confident, nor the parents will be confident, nor the child herself or himself will be confident about that particular skill. So we must have a curriculum attached to this. Now, to take one example, I'll just bring to your example that Adivaret Kids 20 skill curriculum for your understanding. So now, when we talk about curriculum, the curriculum is a bigger umbrella which should take care of what kind of skill the child must possess in different uh, phase of life's development. So now, if you look to the language, communication skill, cognitive skill, social emotional skill, environmental skill, and motor skills, these are the topmost skills across the world we try to develop by taking different ways in the preschool years. Now, when language and communication skill, for example, we talk, it is so vast area without a curricular component, it will be really, really difficult for the educators or the preschool teachers to focus and build that particular skill among children. For that purpose, what we have done at Different Kids is that we have picking up four soft skills under each major skill. For example, listening, speaking, reading, writing, recitation, identification, uh, etc. So that teachers can provide lot of focus for the child's development. As I was talking about language and communication skill, we have course soft skills, and when we develop those activity sheets by keeping in mind these specific component of language and communication skill, then it will be much easier for the teachers to focus to develop such activity sheets and try to engage that child in those activity sheets so that that particular component of skill can be nurtured. Then cognitive skill, we have RISE as a part of Adivaret skills curricular process, which is recitation, identification, counting and write, and exploration. So when we build those activities, then all the activities has to focus each and every four components of cognitive skill. If recitation, then build the activities which will take care of recitation. As far as identification is concerned, build those skills will take care of identification. So forth, we have to create them. Now coming to social and emotional skill, we have IICB, which is independence, interaction, cooperation, and problem behavior. So when we develop the social and emotional skill of the child, then we take into account these four sub skills under the major umbrella of social and emotional skill. So if we want to develop, for example, independent skill, we should have those activities and activity sets. We should take care of independent skill. So when we get those activities done by the child will be developing those independent skills and it will not be mixed with other skills which may create problem in terms of confusion. So that's where the curriculum becomes so handy, so useful for the child to understand and get these things done through such kind of curricular making process. Now, if we come to the environmental skill, we have HPP a component, which is human environment, physical environment, plant world, and animal world. Imagine when we just try to teach some skills related to plant world, then all the activity sets will be related to plant world only. When we talk about physical environment, all the activity sets will be related to physical environment. When we get those activity sets connected to such curriculum, then it becomes too focused so that the skill building mechanism itself becomes very, very rewarding. Then if we come to the last component of major skill, which is movement and physical skill, then we have DA, DC, four components. First two components, DA, are related to gross motor skill, which is dancing and acting. And last two, DC, drawing and coloring, are related to fine motor skill. Now, if we have some activities related to acting, for example, then we know that by doing such activities, child will develop that gross motor skill. And it becomes much easier for the teachers, parents, and those who are connected to the child, so that they can also concentrate how this act can make their life easy, and skill building process becomes very, very easy, effective, as well as rewarding. Now, these are the two components we talked about. First one is activities. We should have sufficient number of activities. Second part we talked about is the curriculum. And all those activities must be connected to a structured curricular process. Now, after that, third component of ACT is tacit knowledge. By doing all these things, by doing all these activities through a curricular mode, whether the child is gaining that tacit knowledge or not. If the child is not able to develop those skills, tacit knowledge, then it will be a complete futile job of all the preschool stakeholders that they spend time with the child. Now, let's see what it is. Ready-made tools must be available to measure the tacit knowledge. And tacit knowledge, as I said earlier, now I am repeating, it is all about the practical skill that child can apply to solve a particular problem, whether that is related to language, that is related to cognitive, that is related to environmental, that is related to social emotional, or that is related to physical. So those things are very, very important. And second important thing about the tacit knowledge measurement is about the age appropriate skill. So we should have a measurement. So we should know that what are the things that must be measured at a regular basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis, to know that all those skills are being achieved by the child. So for that purpose, we should have a checklist. So in this checklist, we should have all the curricular component must be there in the checklist, or any assessment procedure that we should have with us. Now, for that purpose, Adiveret Kids, as I said, it has got a very, very structured way of assessment, whether it's a prime curriculum, whether it's a care curriculum, whether it's an ACT curriculum. For each curriculum, this component is very much essential, and it is there for all the curricular things. Now, once we have the assessment, then immediately thing that we achieve through assessment is that identification of the skills gaps, identification of skill gaps, and the mechanism to intervene to ensure those gaps are being taken care of. So that is what I always say, that tacit knowledge measurement is always important, because that will tell us, by doing all sorts of activities, by spending all the time with the child, whether the child has achieved them or not. That's where it is very, very important. So now we have got the understanding about ACT, activities, curriculum, and tacit knowledge. Those should be taken together to ensure that ACT as the very, very easy, effective curriculum can be introduced at your school. Now, question comes, how you are going to get this? Now, we have got that ACT structurally designed for all of you, for all the schools who want to have this ACT curriculum introduced at your school. For that, we have this product available at our preschool.in, which is a specific support system of Adiveret Kit. You can visit our preschool.in to know more about that. Under that, we have this ACT curriculum for playgroup. We have this ACT curriculum for nursery class. We have this for LKG, and we have that for UKG. And this is available every monthly ACT curriculum. And currently, all this curriculum is available in digital form, and you will be spending peanut to download it and print it and then use it. So it's so simple. And 1 month, every month, we have more than 200 activity sheets spanning over this curriculum of multi-skill curriculum, so that you know that when every day you spend almost 8 to 10 worksheets, unique worksheets, and you can just do the backup. You can take the printout of 2 3 set of printout, or you can use a magic book for that purpose, to get the child doing first time those unique activities, and keep practicing them in a backup activity sheets. And this particular curriculum, as I said, will also be having a set of assessment tools, which is also part of this act, for every class, for every month, so that you can assess your child at the end of every month after doing all these 20 plus activities daily basis. Then you know that whether the child is able to achieve those desired skills scheduled for that particular month and particular week. So this is a very, very fantastic tool, and I'm sure this is going to be create a lots of value to all the preschool, whether they have been running schools for years or those who have been trying to start their own school. This is going to be huge, huge help to you, because this is a curricular base, and all the curriculum things are converted into activities, and all these skills are measured through assessment tool. All are there in every month's curriculum designed for that particular class. I think you have to go check it. Then only you can believe how important or how effective and how easy it is to implement for your school. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. And we have been creating such kind of useful things for you. And if you have any specific query, please do write to us or call us, so that we'll add further value to your endeavor of skill development of children in the preschool years. Thank you so much.